welcome to Lupus Can't Stop, Won't Stop. Thank you guys for coming back. For those of you who have subscribed, and for all of the new people, welcome. And today's topic is, y'all, is syphilis. All right, so I don't remember if I mentioned in my last video that I was active duty military, but okay, so I mentioned it now. So I was active duty military when I was diagnosed with lupus, and that's pretty much how this all began for me. And so I kind of want to take it back for y'all. And it's about to get real deep, y'all. Real deep, real deep. Anyway, so back in 2012 is when I was diagnosed with lupus. Yes, was it? Yes, 2012. I was stationed in Fort Bragg, North Carolina. Y'all. I know I wasn't at the time, but I know, let me know down in the comments below if you guys get tested in between every sexual partner that you have. I know it should be a pretty normal thing. Anyway, so I was not doing that at the time, y'all. And so something told me, I wouldn't say something, but the Lord spoke to me that time. And he told me, he's like, Aiyana, go and get tested. And so that's what I did, y'all. I went and I got tested. I went to the clinic and I got tested. And so, you know, they tell you at the doctor's office, you know, if we call you, then it's the bad news. If we don't call you, then don't worry about it. So, you know, I know. I just knew I wasn't about to get no call. And so I'm going on about my life or whatever, and I'm good. And I get a phone call from this number that was not saved in my phone. And so with the military, you know, you get all random numbers calling you all the time. So I didn't think nothing of it. So I get a phone number call, and she called. And I'm like, hello. And she like, yes, PFC Lockhart. And I'm like, this is she. And she like, yeah, this is Dr. blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, hi. And she like, we got some test results. Grabbing, at the time, we wasn't grabbing pearls. We was grabbing dog tags. I grabbed them dog tags tight, clenching at my neck, Lord. And she was like, I need you to come back in. And so I was like, okay. And so I'm feeling a range of emotions at this time. And so I'm like, okay, maybe, you know, maybe she just need me to sign something or something. And so I go in, and she was like, yes, you got a positive syphilis test back. And I'm like, a positive what? Like you need to look at them paperwork. Are you sure that's for me? And so she's like, yeah, you tested positive for syphilis, but it's okay, it's okay. And I'm thinking like, no, the hell is not okay. And so I'm like, okay. And she was like, oh, we're just gonna have to give you a shot or whatever, and whatever, all the sexual partners. And I'm like, oh, like, girl, like, it ain't no all. But I'm like, okay. And she's like, you can go ahead and have them come in, and they get the shot, and everything will be all fine. And I'm just like looking at her like, and she probably looking at me like. And so anyway, I went ahead and got the little shot or whatever. And of course I had to step out and not to make the phone call. Like, you need to be calling me back because we got some problems, because it is not even supposed to be like, what is going on, because you told me this and you told me that. And so you have to come in and get the shot. And, you know, he limping around sore, you know, got a little shot in the ass or whatever. You know, anybody who know got the little shot, the little syphilis shot, no. That little shot in the ass hurt. But anyway, I'm not feeling sorry because, I'm sorry, y'all, that's rude. Anyway, and so a couple days go by, and then I get another phone call, y'all. Another phone call. And the doctor called me, and she's like, PFC Lockhart? And I'm like, yeah. And she like, we need you to come back in. And I'm like what do you need me to come back in for? And so she's like, we need you to come back in. And so I'm like, okay. So I go back in to see her, and she's like, you know, we ran your test results again because I noticed that your RPR was extremely high. And so I'm like, I'm already irritated because I got to come back in or whatever. And so I'm like, okay, what's an RPR? And she's like, an RPR is what we use to test for syphilis. And I'm like, God, like, you just keep throwing that in my face. And so she's like, we noticed that it was extremely high, and I've only seen that number be that high in someone that has lupus. And so I wanted to run the test results again, and it came back negative this time. And I'm like, what you got? What kind of establishment you got going on up in here? First it's positive, then it's negative. Like what? I'm like, so is it negative because you gave me the shot, or like what is going on? And she was like, no, because I didn't take any more blood when I gave you the shot. So I'm like, okay. So she's like, it came back negative, and so this is only because I've only seen this in people who have lupus. And so I'm like, well, what is lupus? I've never heard of lupus. She's just like, well, it's an autoimmune disease. And she starts telling me what it is, and I'm just, all these things are going through my head, and the number one thing's going through my head is like, okay, well, pause, so I don't have syphilis, and she's like, no, you don't have syphilis, I'm like, so I never had syphilis. And she was like, no, it was a false positive. And so I'm thinking in my head, so I never had syphilis or whatever. And so she was like, but I encourage you to go, make an appointment with your primary care physician and get the screening for lupus. And so I'm like, okay. And I'm in a rush to get up out of there. Like, yes, So she gave me a little pamphlet and some stuff about lupus or whatever, So I, put it in my car, and I stick the little knowledge about lupus in my back pocket or whatever. Because I'm just too juiced, This girl ain't got syphilis or whatever. At the same time, I'm feeling some type of way. I'm feeling bad. Not some type of way. I'm feeling bad because dude had to get shot in his ass for no reason, So, yeah. And so, I had to go explain that, and it was kind of like, that looked like, that look. And so, so I went and I made the appointment, and I saw my primary care physician, and so they gave me this whole checklist. They went down the whole checklist, and they asked me this assortment of an array of questions. Do you have sensitivity to light? Are you easily fatigued? Which I was. These questions seemed like basic questions to me, especially since I was active duty military at the time. Yes, I had sensitivity to light. That's why they give me damn eyebrow. No, I'm just kidding, y'all. But anyway, yes, I had sensitivity to light. And yes, I was always tired. I was extremely tired all the time. I just thought because I was just, early all the time, early in the morning, getting up, going to PT, going to bed late. I just thought I was just tired. Everybody was always tired. Did I have like a butterfly rash around my face? Did I see that? Did I get that? No, I didn't get that. I never experienced that. And that is what people associate lupus with. It's this butterfly rash. I suffer from majority of those. And so along with that, they ran blood tests for me, and it turned out that I did have lupus. And so, it was kind of a depressing time for me because I was kind of nervous. I was like, well, wow, like, what does this mean for me? And so, I was going to doctor's appointments all the time. I don't remember telling a lot of people about it because I didn't really know what it was and what it meant for my military career, and that was my focus. I was focused on being a stellar soldier. I was focused on getting promoted. I was focused on getting that 300 on that PT test, which I never did. I was focused on just being, making money and just stunting and having all the fresh this and having the bomb ass car and just looking cute all the time and just doing all those things that a young minded female in the military would usually think about doing. And that's what my focus was. I didn't have any kids at the time. I wasn't thinking about the important things, which was at the time my health and things like that. I was thinking, I was just young. And so I just wanted to just say, if there are a lot of people in the military who are active duty with lupus, I wanted to say, don't be like I was, pushing through the pain and not focusing on your health, because I can tell you this, as soon as I got out of the military, they slid somebody right up in my spot that was not thinking about Corporal Lockhart once I was up out of there. And just like that did me, they will do you, because guess what? The military will move on. They will push on. It is a business just like anything else. If something needs to be done, they will find somebody else to do it. You need to focus on your health. You need to focus on your life. So yes, I'm just saying, there's nothing wrong with having pride in your job and serving your country. But at the same time, life goes on after the military, people. It does. Okay? Hold to all my soldiers out there. If you can do it, more power to you. I just could not. It was too painful for me. It was exhausting for me. It was overwhelming for me. And if you had to choose, you choose which one is worth it. Okay? And that is my story about how syphilis saved my life, y'all. And if there's not something you can take out of that, I would say, if the importance of getting tested just to get tested, just to be safe with your genital area is not enough, getting tested can possibly diagnose you with lupus like it did me, y'all. So thank you for joining me.